What's up? What's going on? K Mega 405 coming to you live from the 405 where I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers out there. Man, I know it's been a minute. I know it's been a minute. Had to go and check and make sure I wasn't hitting uh the bot noises. So it sounds good. We ready to go. Anyway, I know it's been a minute. Apologies, but I get locked in. And I'm locked in on Crimson Desert over 400 hours in. And yes, I know that I promised that I was going to stream more of the game, which I will. But I had to get through a lot with Cliff. I'm right at the end of the story, and I just want to do it all with Cliff. And then the other two characters I'll stream. I forget what the ogre and the chick's names are, but regardless of that, we're gonna go and do those. We'll do some streaming with them. I still got so much more left to do in the game. So, and on top of that, I can replay bosses and stuff like that. So that's real cool. Anyway, this game is crazy. But anyway, welcome. It is good to be back from a little hiatus. I plan on doing a little bit of work here, some content work here this week. So plan on doing fight night tonight. Not really caring too much about, I've been locked in also on the playoffs. Shout out to my OKC Thunder. You know what I'm saying? We got a tough series coming next round. I don't think them T-Wolves is going to pull it out, but hey, regardless, it was meant to happen. I kind of figured that we was going to lock into the Spurs anyway. It's going to be one hell of a series, and we'll see what's going to happen. But other than that, you know what I'm saying, like Cavs, all that. You know what I'm saying. I mean, it's tied, but I'm more interested in what's going on in the Western Conference. Anyway, so with all that being said, man, there's a lot of stuff to go over, but I'm not going to go over everything because I feel like I said, I want to do some content work this week. So I'll save it for tomorrow. So anyway, first things first. Gotta do an announcement. I forgot. I have not done that yet. I did. It got posted on Twitter, but I didn't come out and just say anything about that. But anyway, so I was on a couple of weeks ago. It was about 3 weeks ago. I think about 3 weeks ago. I was on Gamer Selection. I was asked to join Gamer Selection on their podcast for just to come in as a guest. Anyway, sit there and I used to work with Young Kano back. I still call him Young Kano because I mean he's still a lot younger than me. But regardless of that, sit there with Young Kano back when the intro media days with which that was 100's thing, and we sit there and we've had work together from way back then. He's got his own thing doing that, I got my own thing, whatever. But they asked me, him and Sinister asked me to join to be a part of it. I had to think about it because I didn't know if I wanted to do that. Like, I've always said, like, I got a shelf life. Like, it's like, but you know what? I was like, why not? Some interesting projects that's going to be coming up here pretty soon that I'm going to be a part of. Community nights, which is something that I always enjoy. We'll be doing that. And then just, doing some more content. So on Sunday nights, I'll be joining that crew. And so hopefully you guys will follow us there. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, any time that like people want to come in and join and be a part of GRG or whatever, then, they might hop in or whatever on that scale. But that's one of the announcements that I have on that. And so then that might get me in gear to want to do some more content. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, once I get locked into a certain game, like it's really hard for me to break. Like there's people that know me that knows, like, I just kind of get lost. I'm kind of old school like that. Like it's really hard for me to just want to stream because because when I'm locked in on something, like I play it, I have some things to do, take care of that, come back, play it again, get that, and just be in for hours just playing that one particular game. And I still feel like that's crazy to just stream like that. So I haven't. So we'll get myself adjusted on that. on that scene. But other than that, um, did I talk to you about how much I like Crimson Desert? I love this game, man. This game is wild, wild. And I will say this about Crimson Desert. Um, it's not the first game that I've like had to look look online for like clues or something like that. Like, but this game has made me do it the most than any other game. I think the next game to that would have to be Elden Ring, because there was just things in Elden Ring I just, because I'm not familiar with Soul games like that, and so I had to, like I'm trying to figure out how to beat the Queen of Rot, so I'm looking at all different strategies and things like that, and so uh I had to go and look at that. But this game here, like, I mean, it's crazy because it doesn't tell you anything. You just have to learn, and that's fine. But and so like like for a game like this, you have to be a gamer. Like you have to have some kind of knowledge into different types of genres of games, because the way that this game is, it's not just all action and just it is very, very detailed on some of the things, especially some of the puzzles. And there were some puzzles that I was just like, man, like I'll be on stuck for like an hour and a half, and then I would go do something else, come back, and then I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me just go online and look at some stuff. So this game is definitely had me do that. Some of those puzzles get knocked out, figure things out, and then when you start figuring things out, it makes it easier for other puzzles. But then there's still some puzzles that's just like, bruh. So anyway, I really do like this game. This game has got it all. This is kind of like a Grand Theft Auto esque type game. It's really, really crazy. So uh let's see what's going on, fellas. What's going on? He says, K Mega. He said, what up, boy? He says, my Knicks and your Thunder finals. Hey, that would be a great finals. I mean, your Knicks look real solid, man. They busting ass right now. They're sitting there waiting. The Thunder sitting there waiting. But the one thing that both conferences is going to have some challenges. The Knicks look like to be the favorites to come out, but the Pistons, if the Pistons come out of that series, the Pistons has put boot to ass on the Knicks this season. So, and then vice versa, like with the Thunder, if the Spurs come out, which it looks like the Spurs will. I mean, they're only just one win away to get out, and the Spurs during the regular season to put boot to ass to my Thunder. So it will be challenging series. I will definitely be watching. I'm like, for the Cavs and Pistons, I'm not really interested in that series too much, but I'll definitely be watching the conference finals. It's going to be fun. Going to be real fun. I can't wait, actually. So, but a Knicks Thunder championship will be it would be glorious, because my Thunder will go against legacy teams throughout. Like, they took out the Lakers, which is a legacy team, got all those championships, and then you would go against the Knicks, which is a legacy. It's like considered the Mecca, even though it doesn't have as many championships as Boston or the Celtics or the Lakers, but still it's a Mecca. And for the Knicks to get back to the finals, bruh, that would be insane. But anyway, this is not a sports channel. This is because I will definitely talk your head off about sports, but this is a gaming channel, so let's talk about some gaming. Anyway, and I'll stop talking about Crimson Desert. First things first, I think what I want to go is talking about I think I'm going to talk about PlayStation right now. Yeah, I think I'm going to talk about PlayStation right now. Now, it's been about a month of miscues from PlayStation. Some crazy missteps. I don't, and again, I've said this, is that, like, to me, this is the worst generation. what Yobi say? Hold on, let me get back. I'm sorry, guys. I just listened to what Yobi said. Yobi said he says Mega has been slaying away on Crimson Desert. Mega was like, don't call my phone, don't DM me. I am video gaming. I'm on another planet, sucker. You are right. Like, Yobi knows me. Like, when I'm lost in. I don't care about all that. Just I'm busy. I'm doing my thing. Leave me alone. That's it. So yeah, you got me, Yobi. Anyway, but with PlayStation, I've been saying this for about 3 years. About 3 years ago, Like this generation for PlayStation just doesn't seem the same as other previous generations. As much as people tried to dog out the PlayStation 3 generation, I thought the main reason why the PlayStation 3 generation got the divisiveness that it did, it wasn't because it was a bad console, because it wasn't. It was the fact of the pricing and the kind of push to try to say, well, we got a premium product, so you got to pay for this premium product. And it was just a greed grab, and them being a little bit too hot under the collar, thinking that they just thought that they shit didn't stink, pretty much. You know what I mean? Like they just was like, okay, the PlayStation 2, number one selling console of all time, or being close to that, and just dominating everything in its wake. They got careless, and they got greedy. 360 definitely put that ass to bed, regardless of how many extra consoles that it's outsold the 360. Everybody knows where the 360 stood compared to the PlayStation 3. But the PlayStation 5, the console itself is a fine console. It's not a bad console at all. And the PlayStation Pro, the PlayStation 5 Pro, and the PlayStation 4 Pro, those are good consoles as well. But the thing that really bothered me the most was that it wasn't so, not even for the lack of the content, because PlayStation usually goes through those kind of slow starts. Sometimes they'll have a good start, and then they'll have a really slow middle, and then they'll kick it off at the end. And that looked like that's what generation was going to be like. Probably by the time that we get to the end of this generation, which we look like we are, that they'll start picking up on bringing some more exclusive content, or first party content, I should say. But all those remasters and remakes, and then like the push for multiplayer, which was smart. Nobody, the live service games, which was smart, but choosing the live service games that they decided to work with just didn't sit well, not only with PlayStation fans, but it damn sure didn't sit well with me, because when you look at games like Spider-Man, the Spider-Man MMO, or the game, like the live service Spider-Man game, that looked like that would hit. The Last of Us live service game, Factions, that looked like that was going to do, that would be something that would intrigue people. Helldivers 2 is a success for sure. But then we look at Marathon, and I don't want to see games get taken out, and I don't want to see developers or studios get shut down. But I'm wondering, who are the people that are in charge sending this stuff out to other gamers in their ecosystem, and those gamers are saying, yeah, this is it. This is right here. This right here, Marathon, is going to be a game that is going to do better than Factions, or that's going to get more appeal than a Spider-Man MMO or a Spider-Man live service game. Or Concord. Like, I mean, even though, like, again, I've said this about Concord, I'll say it again. I felt if you wanted to have Concord work, what you needed to do was to make it a single player game, and then kind of have that same format that the Guardians of the Galaxy was made from Square Enix. Where you have these different characters, and you could just play within those different characters. However you wanted to make it out, however you wanted to, have people get to play them, give different story, do a story building of those characters, regardless of how goofy they may have looked, or how like people used all that weird identity politics bullshit with the characters and how they were designed. If those characters had a backstory, I still think that they would work, especially if one of the goofiest looking characters was funny, or, they whatever. Like, good writing is good writing. You can make anything look great if behind good writing. And Sony is really good at storytelling. If they did that, I think that and then pushed out the the live service game. I think it might have had a chance because you could have had gamers, because of the way that PlayStation gamers are built, they're more into story driven games, right? So when you do that and you bring and introduce those type of characters, then that gives like a backstory, and people will say, okay, yeah, I like this character, and then that could be their favorite character that they could play in the live service portion of it. But they just going straight balls to the wall, and then the game didn't have that PlayStation kind of look or vibe. You know, that template is their template. Like, I mean, I don't know why some people get pissed off about it when you say the PlayStation template. The look, the style of how PlayStation games have ran, it is what it is, and it didn't have that. And I get trying to have a different design and things like that, but if you had a story, if you had like a single story, a single player, or maybe a co-op player game with the PlayStation template look, and then you had the multiplayer, it could have worked. But regardless, whatever, it did not. And so then there's a couple of other games that's going to get ready to come out. I know that some other games that they did was scrapped, but the gamers have been demanding, you know, Scalebound. I'm just saying Scalebound. That's me. That's a gamer. I'm sorry, that's a wrong game. I meant oh my God, well, I can't think of the name of the game. It's a soul like that. Bloodborne. The gamers are demanding Bloodborne. Well, it doesn't look like the relationship between Bloodborne and well, not Bloodborne, but From Software and Sony is worked. So therefore, it's like, I mean, because they went to Nintendo and made a game that looked like a successor to Bloodborne. I don't think that game is out yet either. But regardless, that game looks just like it would be a sequel to Bloodborne. It does, and that's that's going to be like a Nintendo exclusive, which is wild. So obviously that ain't working. But then like Days Gone, like that game didn't really get, I felt the love that it truly deserved, because they rushed that game out and that game was so broken. But then once they patched it up, when I came back and played it like a year later, I mean, I bought it day one, but when I came back and played it like a year later, oh my God, the game was so much better, and it was fun. And like and definitely playing it on the PC, oh, it's magnificent, right? It's a really good game. They shut that down. They like, no, we ain't doing that. I mean, other gamers was asking for other classics like Siphon Filter, or you know, I'm hearing like that, that the gamers are asking for like a Dark Cloud, or you know, for me, a Legend of Legaia or a Mark of the Cree. There's so many PlayStation games that could be coming out that could get attention and get the desire of the fan base to talk about their games again, instead of just talking about the sales numbers. That's exactly what's going on with PlayStation. That's what's been happening this whole generation. Sales. A couple of games here, sales. A couple of games here, sales. This game ain't. Oh, this game got hyped. This game ain't all that. And talk about Metacritic scores. That's it. It ain't nothing like it was last generation. And again, not every generation is going to be the same, but this generation for PlayStation has been god awful. I don't care what any stand try to fight back and tell you. If they listen, I could tell you that the Xbox One generation was the worst generation for Xbox. I have no problem with saying that. Was there some good games that was on it? Absolutely. Was the console itself a good console? It was a cool console. It was a great console for when it was first built. And the features that it had in the beginning, great console. But the games wasn't up to snuff. There wasn't enough content on the first party content for the Xbox One. It's just that simple. So I don't understand why PlayStation gamers cannot come out and be honest about that as well, of this generation. The content has been far in between. I remember certain people would be on the net and counting down about how many days it's been that there was a first party Xbox game, right? Okay, like I don't see them having these numbers, and I understand the whole point of this is going to Soros, right? Like a game that looks really, really dope. I would love to play it on my PC, but Sony wants to play games, and I'm not in the mood to play games anymore. I'm done with it. I've expressed that in the last stream that I did, and go check that out. And thanks for everybody that was showing the love on that stream. But for real, I'm done with it. I'm over that. It used to, you know, like I got it at the time where gamers, you know, prove yourself as a gamer, like you have to own everything, you know, or close to everything. In order for you to sit here and talk about certain things, then, you know, you have to talk about it from experience. Totally understood it. Bought in on that. Bought PlayStations, got a Switch, and, you know, got, you know, for a gift, and got, you know what I'm saying? Also have my Xboxes, got my PC, you know, even messing around with mobile games, even though I'm not really big into the mobile stuff. I'm just not. It's just not my thing. And I'm playing, and I'm double dipping, quadruple buying stuff just to see the difference in whatever, to catch people in their bullshit or whatever. And then it just dawned on me. It dawned on me. Like, hold up. The other side is not doing this. They're not doing it. They're talking all about Xbox games in a negative light, and most of them do not even own an Xbox. And if they do own an Xbox, they're only playing select games. They're only will put in so much time on that game, and they're using Game Pass, even though they'll trash Game Pass, but they're using Game Pass to play those particular games just to shit on that game for content and ad revenue. And it just dawned on me. Why the hell am I doing? Why am I doing this? Now, again, do I like, is it wrong to have all of it? No, absolutely not. But in the climate of where we're at today with the companies themselves, the prices, and I understand of the tariffs and all that other mess, but still, regardless, there should not be a PlayStation or an Xbox or any damn thing being at the price that it, being higher than the price that console was the day that it released. It should not be that way, period. So yeah, old me would have got a PlayStation Pro? Yeah, I would have. I don't see the reason for it. But I would have done it anyway backlash generation, just to do it. So nobody could say, oh, well, Mega, you sit there and you talk about Pro. I don't talk about the Pro like that. But I do know that the Pro is not, when these people try to make the Pro comparable to PC gaming, I'm like, yo, bro, stop it. Stop it. Low end PC gaming. Yeah, cool. But like, stop it. So, but there's no need for any of that now. Like, because the other side don't do it. They'll sit there and they'll borrow somebody's shit or rent something, or what. I've heard so many different stories of how some of these people, or they'll just lie. They'll just flat out lie. There's been so much exposure of people that sit there and say that they played this particular game and didn't even play it. And so I'm sitting here like, hold up. So these people can criticize, they can walk down whatever that they don't like, and they don't associate anything. They're just saying it just to say it. Okay, well, fuck it. You know what? I don't need a PlayStation anymore. And that's where it comes from. I don't need this and that. I had a discussion about the Steam Deck. I mean, somebody had brought up about the Steam Deck. And I was basically just saying, look, I don't care about handheld stuff like that. The Nintendo is docked. The only time that I played with it undocked is when we had a power outage when there was a big ice storm. That was, I mean, so I've only had it undocked twice. It stays docked. It do not move. You know what I'm saying? Unless I wipe it down or, you know what I'm saying, get some dust off of it or whatever. But that's it. I'd rather play on my monitors, on my screens. You know what I'm saying? On my screens, on my monitor screens, or my TV. I'm old school. That's just me. I feel like if I got somewhere to go, I got somewhere to go. I'm damn sure gonna be concentrating on driving. It's on the road. If I'm in a plane or something, I'd rather listen to music. Look out the window. If I'm, I understand if you're at an airport, something like that, I'm listening to music. or looking and seeing stuff, what's going on in the news or sports or something like that. Like I'm totally engaged, and so I'm just talking to somebody. I don't have to have my head into the screen of a console or a handheld at all times. So I'm not that type of gamer. I'm a different type of gamer. I'm the old school. But I just think that for what PlayStation has done this generation hasn't lived up to what the PlayStation standard has been. It just hasn't. And people need to be honest about it. This is a bad generation for Sony. It's just been. There was a video, and matter of fact, it's from a guy named Christian Stevenson. And he basically says, says PlayStation is a dominant force in console games, and their competitor is now one of their partners. Yeah, right? We'll get into the Xbox thing here last, but there was another thing that he also said too, was talking about the second party. Talk about third party and how that has established PlayStation, and that continues to establish PlayStation. So when we said this years ago about how PlayStation is made, how they have made like a fat rat off of like third party content and second party deals, to where they had exclusives that weren't actually first party exclusives, people tried to lie and tried to say no, this, that, and the third, or deviate from something else, right? Well, it's not as prevalent as it used to be. It used to be like, just think about like the PlayStation 1 era, how dominant that was with the Tekken. I thought Tekken was Sony's. I thought that was their game, even though I knew that they, or that like, I'm like, I understand that it's coming from Namco, but you know what I'm saying? They're funding this or something? Like, this is only on PlayStation. Now again, I was nowhere as deep into the gaming weeds, or learning the backdrops of how things worked in the business back then compared to like I am now. But still, like the way PlayStation dominated, they had games that, you think about Tomb Raider first came out on the Sega Saturn, and all of a sudden it just went away because Sony made a huge deal, marketed, and you thought that was a PlayStation only game. It was an exclusive, but it was not. It was on the Saturn first. So again, that's been the truth forever. When you look at the PlayStation 2, all of those great games on that console, those games were just second party deals. Same with the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4. It was just as dominant, really dominant. It really was noticeable. I would say the PlayStation 1 and 2 was probably, it was at it's like supreme, but PlayStation 4 brought that damn back to that, almost to that level, right? So anyway, regardless, but it's not working like it did in this generation. And it's showing and exposing that game development at PlayStation takes so long that, hey man, they on a drought. Like they're cramming at the bit for Wolverine. Like we'll hear all the talk about Wolverine. Wolverine this, Wolverine that, Wolverine. And it's even getting so bad that they're even lying and making it sound like that Xbox is not going to get Grand Theft Auto. Like now, Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, Grand Theft Auto 2K might make some kind of content, special PlayStation content or something, that will only be exclusive on PlayStation. But it ain't going to be like something astronomical. You know what I mean? So who cares about that? But they are so desperate to try to make the PlayStation dominance be about the games, and it isn't. This generation isn't theirs when it comes to the games. It just isn't. Just isn't. Last generation, absolutely. This generation, no. And case in point, even when they do get first party games, if it's not something that is very popular or already on the take where people are like, yeah. Nah, bro, it's not happening. Soros, I know Soros is a good game. I'm without even playing 1 minute of it. I know it's a good game. I mean, you know, and I like House Marquee, what they do. I think Returnal is hard as hell, but Returnal is great. Oh, well, I can't think of the other game. Next Machina, love that. I love their games, and I was all in. I was like, I had Soros in my budget. And then here comes the whole rumors about PlayStation is over here, which I don't think that still haven't been addressed yet. I think it's still content created. Please tell me in the chat, because I haven't seen it yet. It may have been announced, but I still haven't seen Sony actually say that they were dropping games off of PC. But it's clear that they're delaying it. And you know, because I mean, Ghost of Yotai would have already been announced by now, you would think, right? But regardless, it's not. And Soros has only, and I will say it with my chest all out, because that shit is inexcusable. Inexcusable. You're talking about PlayStation is the place for games. You have 90 plus million console units out there. Some people say shipped, some people say others. I don't know. I don't give a damn. Let's just round it off and say 100 million. Just to make the stands feel good about themselves. And it only sells 300 copies. Now, again, when it first, I posted something, but I didn't kind of go crazy with anything, because it was when it first was announced that the sales weren't looking that hot. Because for the month of April. It was only out for what, a week or so, not even that. So that's, you know, you can't justify. But when you get to like a month, you get a few weeks in, you close to that month. I think we're like 3 weeks in. We're like 2-3 weeks in. We're a couple of weeks in. This is like the third week, I think. 300,000. 300,000 out of 100 million, 90 plus million. 100 million, hell, let's get crazy. 200 million PlayStation 5s, right? Let's just say that. 300,000 for a quality game. For a quality PlayStation first party exclusive. 300,000. That is garbage. That is hot ass garbage. You can't lie about it. You can't clown it. And see, this is another thing. If Soros was day one on PC and PlayStation, I guarantee you would have been close to 1 million. If not hit 1 million. You would have got at least another 300,000 to 400,000. So you've been right there. It would have been close to 1 million. You could have had at least first couple of weeks. As I would have been a recipient. I had it in the budget. There was Forza, Invincible, and Soros. PlayStation said, nope, we're gonna keep it up. We're keeping it in house. I only want to play my PlayStation games at the highest capability. And a PlayStation 5 is not going to be at the highest capability if I play PlayStation games on my PC. My PlayStation games on my PC is elite. They look incredible. They play incredible. And I'm not to say that, hey, somebody could sit there and say, well, what about Xbox? Hey, play anywhere. It means a lot to me. Trust me. I play Crimson Desert runs well on the Series X. But boy, that sumbitch run real good on my PC. So where do you think I'm playing it the most? And matter of fact, when I was streaming it, I streamed Crimson Desert twice. And I streamed it once on my Xbox, and then I streamed it once on the PC. People automatically knew when I did it on my PC, when I was streaming it from my PC. They knew. Like, I couldn't even lie about it. So, you know, and I wasn't going to, but still. But that's the thing. It's like, for me, it's like, I want to support PlayStation. I'm not going to support them with their consoles anymore. So I'm like, but I want to support their games. But if you're going to sit there and just throw me something like, listen, Marathon, I said I want to definitely play Marathon, but they're in a bad state right now. It doesn't look very good, and I hate that for them. Like I said, I'm not here to gloat or see any company go through it. Bungie is definitely going through it, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully some new life will come to Marathon, but with this thing with Soros, Sony's got to look at the bigger picture. Like maybe Wolverine will sit there and do something, but Sony ain't stupid. You see, Sony would normally, but they learned a lesson. See, they thought when they did the whole Street Fighter 5 exclusivity, like, I mean, that made all of us like Xbox gamers and fighting fans. Whoa, what's going on here? And that not very much did I get a little jelly about, you know, between the, you know, what games come on Xbox and doesn't come on Xbox and what's on PlayStation or Nintendo. But that one made me a little J. That one had me salty. Like, yo, what? Damn. I mean, great strategy move from Sony, but again, their marketing, they sit there and they did the proper marketing, but then they gave us one of the worst fighting Street Fighters ever at the launch. That game was bad. It wasn't balanced properly. There was no content. They only wanted to just force the online. And the PlayStation community wasn't trying to feel all that because they're not trying to deal with the sweaties. So where I say all that is that Sony is smart with token, and maybe that was a deal that had to happen with Arc, because the team that's working on the game, that token is that like, hey, you got to at least put this on PC. You can't just lock this down. We seen what you did with Street Fighter. And if you know what I'm saying, and Sony don't seem to want to be giving out real budgets, you know what I'm saying? And especially Disney gonna get that money and everything. Hey. So Disney all about making their money. So you had to put that on PC. So they learned their lesson from that. And it looks like they're gonna learn their lesson from Soros. And Ghost of Yotai did good, but Ghost of Yotai would have done better. And the whole thing of what we've been stressing as just gamers is that you put these games on PC day one and you could really make some things happen. I understand about like this whole exclusivity thing of where you want, saying the identity of the Xbox or your PlayStation or whatever, all that, right? But PC is its own entity. And gamers like me that's out there that's like, okay, yeah, you know what? I'll be glad to play. I'll be glad to support Sony on, but I want to support them my way. Sony wants to tell you how you gonna do it for them. No. I'm over that. That game is bit. That ship is sailed, bro. That ship is sailed. So that ship is sailed. Let's see. Let's go. Read a couple of y'all's comments. He says, afternoon, what's up with KW View 9? I see Curie, I see Gamer Adaption. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys for coming through. Appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? He said, KW9 says, good afternoon, K-Mega. He says, the chat. He says, what do you think about the Xbox potentially announcing the end of paying for online multiplayer? I'm going to get to all that. That's going to be my last talk about Xbox's identity and all that, like the exclusivity and all that. We'll get into that. But first I want to start off with this PlayStation thing right now. Like I just listen. When you have a person that works at Sony, that's been working at Sony as long as they did, and they tell you right now, listen, the second party deals are the most important. And we've said that. I've said that. I have said that. And now you hear it from the horse's mouth. So there shouldn't be no more argument about it. But again, Phantom Blade, we ain't seen people talk about it. And matter of fact, it hasn't even been dead. We don't even know when that's going to drop. It's supposed to be dropping this year. It's supposed to drop last year, but didn't get an announcement. We're still waiting for an announcement for Phantom Zero. But that game's coming to PC. Listen, and then losing, which is wild, and you don't see that normally with when Sony has something locked down. You know what I mean? Like, but Shift Up said, "Yo, no, Stellar Blade is no. We made some good money off of it, and we're gonna send it to all platforms." You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people saying rumor because they still want to kind of. They would have easily made the deal with Sony but since they're not, that game is going to be everywhere. And I will not be surprised if we don't hear an announcement coming up here in one of these shows that Stellar Blade is going to be coming to Xbox at some point. It could be, and when I say one of these shows, it could be next year sometime. Like, because they're already supposed to be working on the second game. So on the Stellar Blade 2. So that would be something to where once it be announced, it probably maybe not next year. Maybe when the time comes when they're close to bringing the game out, it'll come to Xbox. But I could see Stellar Blade, Her Thickness and Yams coming to the box. You don't normally see that. And then seeing companies turn down Sony. Crimson Desert, like Pearl Abyss said, nah, we good. We good. See, Sony seen what they had, right? Like, Sony seen what Crimson Desert was about. And right now, Crimson Desert is like one of the hottest games out, like, you know, sales-wise. So it was smart on Sony. They seen the potential of it. It's just like they did with Black Myth Wukong, right? They had it locked down, but it's eventually on Xbox. Like, normally they kept things locked down. These companies is like, man, we're going to try to make as much money as we possibly can. Now, some of these smaller studios that are working on a couple of games, Sony still has a couple of those games that gets announced. I know that there was like a Soul-like game and that got announced, and they said that they couldn't make a game for. There's a couple of games like that. They're saying that they was only going to make it for PlayStation, but they weren't going to make it for Xbox. And you know what happened? Those games didn't sell well on PlayStation, and a couple of those games are on Xbox now, quietly. And I like the fact that there's Xbox gamers that's like, no. We pay the same type of money that PlayStation gamers pay for their console. Sometimes our console outperforms the PlayStation 5. And you're still trying to tell us that we got to buy a PlayStation 5 with these prices? Like, it would be different if the PlayStation 5 was $200, $250. You know, you could work with that. That's the difference between back then, where people could look and say, all right, I'll give me a PlayStation or I'll give me an Xbox, Black Friday or something like that, right? Or whenever the next sale is, you know what I'm saying? I got some extra change and I'll get it. It's going to be like $250, or hell, you might find deals around when they're close to the end of their generation, maybe $150. $200. Yeah, we can work with that. But you talking about 6, 7? Bruh. No, it ain't happening. It won't happen no more. It's not. And that's why I try to say the other side sit here and ridiculed Xbox for so many years, and a lot of them did not play any Xbox games. They're just there to just on the ride of just wanting to shit on Xbox. So, hey. If you're going, now will I say something bad about Wolverine if Wolverine isn't good? If you know what I'm saying, about Wolverine, no, I'm not gonna say nothing bad about Wolverine. I'm not gonna say nothing bad about Soros. But I'm not buying them. I'm not playing them on my PlayStation 5. I'm not. I refuse. I will not do it. Just like Ghost of Yotai. I want to play Ghost of Yotai. But like I said, playing my old PlayStation games. And as many times, and then all that double dipping I did, right? For damn near every PlayStation game that came over to PC, damn near bought them all. I'm not doing it no more. I'm just not. It's not because I'm trying. It's just the principle now. Play Anywhere has spoiled the shit out of me, and I'm done with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Play Anywhere has spoiled me, and I will not do it again. I just won't. I'm telling gamers out there, you should look at that in the same way. Until these companies decide, if you're a PlayStation dude, that PlayStation man or woman, that Xbox is like, yo, I would have got an Xbox. I mean, there's some cool games that's coming on Xbox. I haven't heard too many bad things about the console itself, but it's $700. It's what, $600? No, it's all across the board, So, and I just, it's unfortunate. But I'm not doing it. So, like, you got an opportunity, Sony, to sit there and to continue to keep getting gamers like me to support your products. But if not, I'm not. I don't have to play Wolverine. It ain't that serious to me. I got so much more I got so much to play as it is. I got a backlog that's out of this world. I ain't worried about it. I could go back and play the old Wolverine game. It's just kind of like my mentality of how I've evolved over time with this, because it's like, no. And that's why I'm just saying, for like these missteps of where Sony is trying to force gamers into these positions, and it's crazy. Like, I did see finally where there was some pushback with the I think it was some like AI situation going on. I know I saved it somewhere, but I gotta find it again. But it's something to where they have a and there's all types of stuff going on with AI that is just bizarre, like the stuff with AI with vehicles for 2027 vehicles and all. Just look that up and hear about that. But anyway, this stuff here with what Sony was trying to do with oh man, where is it? I gotta find it. If people in the chat, you gotta help me out on that, because I was looking at it. It was last week, and I was just looking at that like, yo, and I was going to do a show, but I got caught up at my daughter's graduation and stuff like that. So. Charlie said, yeah, I was hoping for the promised performance gain on the CPU, but I got the same in the same games. I actually got less frames per second. Oh, they must be talking about another. Oh yeah, no, we're definitely gonna be talking about that with the disc stuff. Curie, what's going on? She said once Stellar Blade comes to Xbox, she's like, I'll buy a copy. Then eventually double dip for mods, unless it's Play Anywhere and in CNA mode, the Xbox PC copy. Yes. See, that's the thing, and that would be smart for that game to go ahead and be Play Anywhere. Now, I did see that there was a game that the Aliens Marines 2. It will not support Play Anywhere, and listen, that it's their decision. But as I said, I posted, that sucked. Just got to cop it on sale, because the game is fun. The game is really fun, and I will play it, but it ain't a day one priority to me. I like I said, I am so done with these companies trying to play these games with our money and with our time. No, if you gave us something, you give it back. Like, again, same with people that they made a choice when it came to Game Pass. Like, I made my choice of saying, I feel like I see the value into it, of the price still being it was $29.99. But there was a lot of people that said no. And what did Xbox do? They said, yo, we hear you, we got you. All right. Now we have Arsha talking about what she's going to do there, talking about the pricing of the console. We'll get into that. Like, I know I kind of want to get into it, but I have something else I want to talk about before I get into the Xbox stuff. But again, with PlayStation, like, it's just the movement with PlayStation right now. It doesn't seem like it's for the players anymore. It seems like that they're trying to maximize as much money as they possibly can and getting ready to fund this stuff. I mean, like, another thing too, Yoshida came out and went crazy and just kind of spilled the beans. Like the one thing that I told people too was that Yoshida said that they were gonna I told people that Yoshida got demoted. He did. He admitted it. He did. But another thing that Yoshida came out and was saying was that by taking games away from PC, you're taking away money to help for development for their games. And case in point, look at Soros. Like, I mean, the budget wasn't insane, right? But it was just like from the article from Press Play, from a pro PlayStation not site, but magazine or editorial that was basically saying that they only got like maybe 20% of their budget from what they sold a quarter. That is awful. That is awful. And what's going to be even more insane is that Forza Horizon 6 is going to outsell every other PlayStation first-party game except for Wolverine. Mark it down. Mark it down. Clip it and dread it. The only game that Sony will have first-party wise that'll beat Forza is Wolverine. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's first party. And you know it, I know it. And that's a damn shame. And again, I don't know the strategy of what's going to. I said this many moons ago. I said this so long ago. I said when all of those GOAT elite management people that worked at Sony for all those years started dropping, started leaving, started quitting, started retiring. That's a lot of turnover, man. That's a lot of turnover. And there's going to be all these visions and all these different type of standards that they feel that's going to, when Andrew House and them left, Adam Boyes and all that, when all that killer team left, Sony has not looked the same. They just haven't. Now, I would say Sean Layton did a good job with Sony, but I think that was more Yoshida and what? I would think that's probably what Yoshida and I think was Jack Tretton before Yoshida? I believe so. Or maybe was there somebody else before Yoshida? I can't remember. But actually, but that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you look at how Don Matrick sit there and got Don Matrick, it was Peter Moore who sit there and set everything up game-wise. Don Matrick sit there and took the benefits, got the benefits for it until he exposed himself for what really he was when he sit there and he damn near killed the Xbox brand on the way out, throwing the deuces, going to another company. That's basically it. So Sean Layton, even though I think Sean Layton was fine for PlayStation, but I mean, I think that he was riding off the coattails of what Yoshida was doing and what was already pre-development before Yoshida got there. So listen, and then now we got what we got. And now I see PlayStation gamers sitting there getting pissed off, and they wanted Jim Ryan gone. Now they want, you know what I'm saying? I think his name's Herman. They want him gone, or Halsman, or whatever he say his name. I apologize, but they want him gone. Like again, and one thing that I do not like what some Xbox gamers are trying to do is trying to give Arsha credit for what Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond and Matt Booty, which is he's still there, have done. Arsha's cooking with a lot of stuff that she's, a few things that she's done that's kind of, and what she says, really, really good stuff. But come on, man, let's not do that. Arsha didn't bring these games to Xbox. That was Sarah Bond. That was Phil Spencer. And Matt Booty. Those three did the work. And that team, whoever worked, and all the people that worked with that team of Phil, Sarah and Matt, they Arsha's benefiting right now because nobody can talk about Xbox games. That's all. That's dead. Xbox has no games. It's dead. Game Pass fodder, dead. Over. Finito. Titans. Over with. That's the work. But now we see, and we're looking at the upper side with PlayStation, and that vision of what Sean Layden left, and now what Jim Ryan has left, and it ain't looking the same, Jack. It's just not the same. Boy, if Forza beats Wolverine, I'm talking about on PlayStation. I'm not talking about like overall sales. I think over time, Forza will overtake Wolverine in overall sales because because there's a longevity with the Horizon series compared to a single player Wolverine game, unless there's a lot of DLC or something like that, right? But I don't know. I'm sure that they'll have some kind of DLC or something like that, but it ain't going to be on the level of what Forza is. And again, but I'm talking about on PlayStation, that if Forza 6 outsells Wolverine, I know something. Let's just be honest here. I can't even fancy. Listen, you know how much I love Forza, but man, come on, man. It's Wolverine. It's a PlayStation single play. I mean, a single player game. It's all the PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? The template, everything that PlayStation fans they love and like. They sit there and choose the racer. The Xbox racer over Wolverine, overall sales on the PlayStation, bruh. It would be. Let me get my grill ready because the weenie roast would be on display. I'm doing a quick emergency, just dog day ass out. Crumb side fest. I don't do the crumb side shit like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, it's dumb, but I would be very messy. I have no problem with being messy with that. But for that, I just don't see that. Man, come on now, come on. But I would know something. I would be filthy. I would be messy. But so, Curie, I hope you're wrong for their sake. Man, I mean, crumb side. When I say crumb side, it's like I'm not going after particular people, but I'll just be like, Sony, I'm going to drag Sony's ass. I guess I would drag their fan base. Like, I mean, are you kidding me? Like, think about that. Just put this in perspective. Let's say that Gran Turismo came over to Xbox, right? And it outperformed a new Halo or a new Gears. We would deserve to be cooked. Are you kidding me? You're telling me a new GT coming to Xbox, which would be huge. That would be fantastic. But to outdo a new Gears or a new Halo, nah, son, nah. I would probably ask that. I would probably ask whoever's doing those roastings, can I get on there and roast Xbox gamers too? I would have my moment of like, oh, Xbox, K-Mega is just flipped over. No, just for a day, because I'm gonna cook our ass for that. So so get ready. Like that, if that ever to happen, I would cook them. I would cook the PlayStation community for that. So that would be insane. I mean, Forza is a bad motherfucker. There's no question. It is a dominant force, but man, come on now. That would be wild. Anyway, so let me get off of that. But that's the thing. But saying that is still wild, is that Forza is going to be the best-selling Xbox game. I mean, the best-selling game on PlayStation other than Wolverine. What other game is there that's going to be a PlayStation first-party title that's going to compete with Forza? What other? Phantom Zero is a like a second-party type of game. That ain't gonna do it. Hell, that game might sell less than Soros. What else? I mean, you see them already claiming Grand Theft Auto, lying to their fan base. Some of them lying to their fan base, making it seem like that nobody else is gonna get Grand Theft Auto. But you can't. No, that would be absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Let me read some of these comments here. Appreciate you guys coming through. It says, he says, all right, since the confirmed says thing. He says, I'll give you your flowers, K Mega. I was wrong. Jim Ryan fucked up so much. I told you, Jim. Listen, I'm not here to sit there and to tell you, like, listen, I thought that the idea of the live service is because if there was somebody that was spot on with Sir X-Man when he came out with the strategies of what PlayStation was, if they went out with like that would have been beautiful. I mean, hold on. A God of War, because they tried to do it with God of War, with the last God of War that was on PlayStation 3. And with the online, it didn't gravitate, but a God of War live service game would be popping. Like, I mean, you would definitely have to, make it work in a sense. You have to have, but there's so many great developers out there that knows how to make like live service MMO type games. Like, I mean, again, like, look, we're looking at one, right? Pearl Abyss. They're setting standards now. Like, while we're seeing a lot of these studios kind of fold and fall, and others that were prominent that aren't as prominent as they used to be, like a Bungie, Pearl Abyss is now is taking the place, because Pearl Abyss has now got this, and then they got Doki V coming, and then they have another game out there. I don't know if people remember it. I forgot the name, but it's a shooter. It's a 3D shooter, and that looked tough too. So Pearl Abyss is now stepping that standard up. So, but you have so many different the ideas of what they could do, but like the games, I just don't understand it. Like, okay, let's say that I understand a lot of these companies don't want to take big risks or chances, but think about, Eco, right? What if you have an online live service game that's set into that universe where you got your own created characters, and you're building that, like, again, like the whole Horizon Zero Dawn MMO. Bro, do it. And what we got was totally nothing of what we was I don't like. I see PlayStation gamers not even very happy with the whole, and I heard the game plays pretty good for the beta or whatever that they played for the Horizon Zero Dawn like live service game, but what people will be expecting is something on the something that looks like Horizon, not as polished, because the Horizon games look absolutely stunning, but something that, because it's going to be downgraded, because it's going to be really big worlds, and you're going to have so many people playing, but it's still going to look good enough, and you still have the strategies and different abilities to use within it to jump into this world, and it looks great. That would work. I would play that, because I like the Horizon games. I think the Horizon games are great. But again, you give that up for and listen, the marathon thing, the idea of it, listen, Bungie, that I'm not mad at that. I'm not. But when I knew that there was a problem is when they was getting in trouble for when they were stealing the likeness of some of these characters, like they were stealing the art, and they were getting sued over it. And then the game got delayed, and I'm like, uh-oh. Because the look and the designs of the looks of those characters look dope. I like the facial stuff with the robotic look and stuff like that. Those characters look dope to me. But again, and this is why I try to tell the old heads about Halo, It ain't, the old Halo is not going to work in today's gaming sphere. It's just not. The old Halo just ain't going to work because Bungie is still kept on to the same strategy of what made them great, and the gamers aren't buying it no more. That's why Halo was fine being Halo, but Halo has to evolve. Just like Bungie has to evolve their game. Like, listen, the only thing that I think what Bungie could do to get out of the mess that they're in, and listen, they might be in a really bad spot, sadly, and I don't want them to be, but they have to make another Destiny. And they have to, you know what I'm saying? That's the only way, because what they do with Destiny, it works. But again, you got the Destiny fans, they mad at the Renegade stuff. I don't know what Bungie can do. I don't know. And I don't have any idea of what Sony could do on trying to do anything else. To do anything live service wise, except for making good deals with companies to make fighting games. Because Token's going to cook. I can't wait. Token's gonna cook. I can't wait to play that. Just like I said, I can't wait to play Invincible Versus. Bought it day one and ain't booted up yet because I've been playing Crimson Desert. Sorry, but we'll have Fight Night tonight. We'll play it finally for the first time tonight. But like, do deals like that. Like, I stick with the fighters, and you know. Of course, you got one great one with Helldivers too. I don't know, man. I really would say, man, bring factions. You see Bungie's idea, because I think Bungie undercut Naughty Dog, but bring back factions. Bring back factions. Or hear me out on this. Since there's an issue somewhere about Bloodborne and From Software and Sony, right? Like there's some kind of divide there. Like, now I know that Bloodborne didn't sell like that. It's a cult classic for PlayStation. How about do a live service with that? You seen what I don't know how the Elden Ring online game live service stuff did. I don't know. I haven't followed it. But maybe pitch that, say, listen, we'll go ahead and we'll fund a Bloodborne live service game. It isn't what the gamers like really, they want like another Bloodborne, but if you could give them some Bloodborne-esque with some live service because y'all want to try to make some revenue, I think that it might cook for Sony. I don't know, but the direction that they've been going has not been good. And then this whole AI stuff that they're implementing into their games, and then like the price differential stuff that they're doing, not in the games, but then into the consoles and the price differential stuff and all this weird shit. And like, again, I feel if a gaming company wants somebody to give help to a game, they'll make an easy, normal, and a hard mode. If a game comes out and it doesn't have any of that, who cares, right? Go to another game, or go to Google and look up some stuff to find strategies and stuff like that. But to have AI work games for you, what's the point? Then what? Then you're just watching TV shows. You're just watching a game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do not, please, Xbox. I understand that, but do not over cater to these these game journalists here that can't listen. I was in there talking with Sinister and them, and they brought up about they reminded me about the journalist that was talking bad about Cuphead and couldn't get past the tutorial. We should not cater to them. Listen, if I had to go through the hell of playing Elden Ring and did not know what the hell I was doing and figured it out over time without going and looking through anything until later on when I started to figure the game out, get controls, understanding how to fight something and all that, Then when it came to like the like, figuring out a character that I couldn't beat, going online stuff, that's different. That's different. I ain't opposed to people getting information because listen, like I said, Crimson Desert, I've been looking. There's been some puzzles that I'm like, yo, bro, I've been on this shit for like 2 hours, an hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? All together 2 hours. Go back, leave, go back, leave, come back, leave, and still ain't figured out. Nah, I'm going online. What Reddit, help me. Somebody help me. So on stuff like that, like, you know what I'm saying, if the AI thing pops up and it says, here, look this online, and it shows you a little video, I'm cool. I ain't tripping about that. Those things are normal, right? But to take the game over for you and like you see my gameplay right here, and you see the game is putting in work like that, and you just watch, nah, bro. You ain't even gaming. You just need you watching gameplay. That's crazy. That's crazy. Ain't no way. So again, let me get up back there. So I think that honestly, the missteps of what Sony has been doing here has been really bizarre. I don't know, man. I'm gonna try to find that one because it really did trip me out. Oh yeah, it was the 24-hour thing. That's what it was. And then there were people that was trying to say, you couldn't do that on Xbox. You can do that on Xbox if you do not have, if you're not, okay, so like if you got it home, let's say that you're game sharing, right? Because you can still game share. You can still like game share. So if you're game sharing, then you can't do the offline mode like that. But if you just, and you can just turn it off, turn it back on. But let's say that you power, I mean, like, internet off, whatever. And then like you just sit there, you want to play offline mode, and you got the home console and your Xbox is set to home console. You can play games offline. You definitely could do that. Now you couldn't in the beginning with the Xbox One, and they changed that. And they changed that like years ago during the Xbox One a generation. So, but the whole thing with the PlayStation stuff with the check, like that reminded me of when the GameCube, when Nintendo came with those little discs. When I remember I bought my son a GameCube, right? And then when I was, finally, when I first started doing, like, I started, hanging around some gamer nerds, and they started really, then they brought it to my attention, was like, because I was like, what was the reason for this? I mean, Nintendo always want to do different shit, so it is what it is. And like, no, it's not that. It's that they don't want to get their discs burned, or, you know what I'm saying, or pirated or whatever. And so they made those little discs for that reason. And I'm like, oh, okay, that made sense. But this is what this kind of, like, come on, man. What is, like, what, come on, Sony. What are we doing? Like, and so, again, Sony deserved to get cooked because of when they sit there and they cooked the Xbox back in 2013. When Boyes and Yoshida passed each other the game. Sony said, no, that shit is irrelevant now. That's over with. We running checks and scans. And I remember the outrage. Oh my God, so much outrage for Xbox for the DRM thing. And then I seen people trying to defend it. It's just for this one game one time. Bruh. No, you don't get away with that. You do not get away with that. You stood on business in talking about that was not good for gaming. That Xbox was spying on you and all this other stuff. And then you sit here and you look at PlayStation over here implementing these things on their games. It's hard to defend bullshit. It's hard to defend the bullshit. It is. And it only makes you look dumb. It does. You cannot defend the thing that you had a problem with. Now again, we go like there was like Sony was doing the DRM thing way back when they started doing the CDs and with DVDs and stuff like that, right? But we didn't know that. But then once we started to figure this stuff out, and again, if you had that problem, then you should have that same problem now to defend it. And it's much more egregious than what Xbox was doing. And Xbox had let's not forget the reason why Xbox was doing the DRM thing the way that they were, the DRM thing like that. Because they were trying to do the 10 game share thing. They were trying to, you can get up to 10 family and friends. They were doing the Netflix thing when the Netflix first got really popular to where you could add like family members and friends and stuff like that. Remember, see, people keep forgetting. Xbox was going to implement 10, you could get 10 friends to be a part of your game share. 10 family, friends or family. And you could all play the same game together. And that was the reason why the DRM thing was so important, because again, you know, people gonna try to hustle, so try to do some bullshit. So that was one reason for the check. On top of the fact of like there was other games like NBA 2K, Destiny that already had the DRM stuff already implemented into their games for whatever, for their reasons. For like, I guess, anti-cheat or whatever, anti-copy or piracy or whatever. But that's what Xbox was initially trying to do, and the gaming media and content creators killed that. Think about that right now. Just let's fast forward this for a second. Fast forward for a hot second. And just think about if that was implemented, and how many Xbox gamers would have been invested. Because even if like that would have took away PlayStation gamers, they would have not like the diehard PlayStation, no, but for gamers who are just gamers and they're looking at value like, hey man, I can over here and just think about like what games that you guys can play. Like you can it was like kind of Game Pass before Game Pass in a sense. Think about it for a second. Cause I know when I was a game sharing with my homeboy, Joe Bananas, rest in peace. We would talk about he would talk about the games that he liked, and I talk about the games I liked, and then there was games that we both liked. We would figure out what games so the games you like, he bought for sure. The games that I liked, I bought for sure. But the games that we both like, we just said, hey man, like, oh, you bought, and like how I was and how I buy games, I just buy shit, right? Like, what I'm saying, something that catches my eye, whatever, I'm buying it. So then he would say, no, I got you. Just think about that. If you got 10 friends to do that. Now, of course, you're always going to have them shady ass friends and family that won't do shit. They're just there to play. And you could have boot them out. Like, man, get your cheap ass out of here. But if you got 10 friends, just think about all the games that you guys we could all be playing together. Like I would be playing games. Oh my, what is this? Let's boot it up. And then what also would help would be the multiplayer faction of it. And you mean to tell me that wouldn't draw attention or attraction from other gamers that don't play on Xbox? It would have cooked. And then if they added Game Pass to it as well, Series X wouldn't have the problem that it did. So, with that being said, but with Sony doing what they're doing, I don't think y'all gonna get any game shares to where you can share to your friend to up to 10 friends. I know that you can game share on your PlayStation. Well, you could on the PlayStation 4. I know you could. I haven't even attempted to think about if you could do that on a PlayStation 5 or whatever. You would think that you could, but they have become so more anti-consumer than ever. They are turning into Nintendo. They're stealing ideas from their competitors, Xbox, and then they're implementing the iron fist of Nintendo on their gamers. Bruh, that is insane. Insane. So anyway, I'm done with the PlayStation stuff. I just was like, listen, it's just not the same. Yeah, but I'm over here looking at it now where like people were just cooking PlayStation for this, like, you know what I'm saying, mocking Xbox DRM because they're shifting their story according to their own words, not using DRM as fair in tune with customer desires. Now they implemented it without even informing their customers. Gamers, vote with your wallet. Like, bruh, that was at the end of the month. That was April 28th. Like, what I didn't even tell y'all. Just did it. Didn't make any. Didn't, you know. Boy, cold blooded. Sony cold blooded, bruh. Anyway, all right. So let's get on. I want to get into this topic not too long, and then we'll get into Xbox, and then we'll get out of here. The AA situation. AA and AAA versus AAA games. Like the difference of what's going on here. It is true that what made me think about this, and I'll see if the guys at Gamer Selection want to have this topic as well. What this case in point, what made me first start really thinking about it? I mean, it's been before that. Like, you've seen smaller games that really hit, but it was particularly it was oh my goodness, why I can't think of the name of the game right now. I'm old. Golly, it was the game of the year last year. Expedition 33. How it dominated. It didn't just win. It dog walked everything. It said, yo, Kojima, Capcom, Sony, Xbox, don't matter. Nintendo don't matter. You don't matter this year. It's all about us. A small team making one hell of a game. I was telling people about that game when they first announced it. I'm like, man, watch out for this one. This game's gonna be, and then I got to play it, and I even was screaming down to the heavens that was the game of the year. And it dog walked, right? It dog walked the competition. But it really made it, because then you had like, okay, and you know how I love Assassin's Creed Shadows. I think Assassin's Creed Shadows is really damn good. I need to go and hop on and play that DLC, see what that's all about. But yeah, no, that was a fantastic game. I loved it. But the one problem is not the game, not Assassin's Creed Shadows itself. You look at a game like Expedition 33, and yes, it's for some people it might be an acquired taste because it's a you know, role playing RPG. It's, you know what I'm saying, it's turn based RPG, I should say, but it still didn't matter because that game's music, its voice acting, its combat was unique in certain ways. I mean, if you played tons of, there's different things that they took from other great RPGs, but added its flair to it with its story. Story was outstanding, all that. But and graphically, it was mwah, right? But that game was cheaper. Now, I'm not saying that Assassin's Creed was a much bigger game. Assassin's Creed Shadows was a much bigger game. But you're still asking for $70 when this game here is the game of the year, and this game was $50. I think it was $40, and then for the deluxe, it was $50. People, listen. The gaming industry gotta understand some shit. Like, it's got to start paying attention. I made a video many moons ago, probably like 2016. Start talking about how these major corporate people getting involved into gaming, like they're always been involved into gaming, but like really getting involved into it to where they're like, oh, we see the money, so let's go ahead and try to squeeze every ounce of the dollar out of their customers. I'm like, that's going to be a bad sign going forward in gaming, because we don't know if we're going to go through any kind of economic situation. I remember bringing up about like 2008, the financial situation that was going on in 2008. Then, like, just look at what's going on now. You had the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm just seeing, like, I mean, we always got to go. We always go through something to where, you know, the money get tight, and these companies keep talking about more. Well, this is, you know what I'm saying? Like, just think about this. If Assassin's Creed Shadows was $60, like games used to be, it would have sold a hell of more. It sold over 5 million copies, which is good, but it would have sold probably 10. Just think about this. All you got to do is go back and look at the sales numbers for, especially, like, let's just say PlayStation games. PlayStation games, they were selling 15, 20 million copies of games. They were selling, right off the bat, they were selling like 8 to 10 right off the bat, like in the first month. To now, 2, 3 for something that's popping for them. Like that $10 extra mean a lot, and especially when you look at gas, at the gas prices and food prices and everything else, and utility bills and everything. That $10 mean more than ever now. And these companies are still trying to tell you, yo, we're talking about maybe going to 80. Man, with Grand Theft Auto, man, it would be smart to make it 100. Ain't nobody going. Grand Theft Auto is Grand Theft Auto. It'll cook. But then if you dumb enough to think that you're going to bring Mind's Eye out at $80 and think that that's going to sell on the same wavelength or even get you a quarter of what that is, it ain't. It's just like. And then the game is not up to par the way that it was. Like it was a hot ass mess. It's a good game. Mind's Eye is not a bad game. Like for the game itself is not bad, but it was so broken. Like it's one of those games you play and then I gotta wait. It's not bad, but there's a patch that came out. I need to go back and check it. But no, that's the thing. It's like these AA games are coming out and they're hitting strides. They're doing very, very well. Like, of course, like the Resident Evils and the Monster Hunters and stuff like that. But see, even this last Monster Hunter game, it's not going to sell as much as the last Monster Hunter game before that. You know why? The price is different. And secondly, because you rushed that game out and the game was broken. My God, like there's so much content out there. Gamers can wait. You know what I'm saying? Gamers can wait. You cannot keep making these mistakes and think that, all right, we're going to charge 70 plus whatever, $70 and up for a game, and then go around and then say, wait for an update. Yeah, we'll have an update here in about a month or so. And it's like, that ain't it. Gamers are waiting. Gamers are waiting. And that's the thing right there is that like it's and AA games are really starting to catch up. Like, I mean, you could look at it and say like even Arc Raiders, right? That's made from a smaller team. Look at how that's dominating. Oh, yes. Samson. Yes, you're right, Richard. Yes. Samson, even at $20, even at, like, I think it's down to like, I think I've seen Samson at like $22. I was thinking about getting it. I was like, oh, this is, you know, I like beat 'em ups. I was like, you know, okay, this looks pretty cool. Then I was watching the gameplay. I said, this game is unplayable. The dude, I was just watching some random person and they were like, man, these controls, and you could tell the control, cause like you could hear the button getting clicked and dude wasn't doing shit. And it would bug out, it would fry out. I'm like, oh man, come on now. Come on. See, now that used to be kind of like how AA games used to come out. They just want to kind of throw it out. They have put a lot more love and care, even more so than AAA games, because it's become too corporate, too corporate heavy. Okay, we gave you the money. when you set a deadline, okay, you get one delay, and that's it. Bring that shit out. I don't care if it's working out. I need my money, and it doesn't work. It doesn't, and it doesn't generate the money that it could have. So I mean, it's disgusting. It's disgusting, and I think now is that if you start having more and more games, like these AA games, to come out and kick ass at these reasonable prices, and they're outperforming, and then if they get into the awards discussions, and then they win awards over these big AAA games, then there has to be a different standard that goes on. There has to be. If not, then you know, you know, I mean, they'll say that the gaming industry is healthier than it's ever been. Okay, you can say that, but if people ain't buying, so I'm just saying, I think that I think that the difference between both of them right now, and there's still some good quality AAA games, that don't get me wrong, but it's just like, for instance, and I know I've talked about Crimson Desert, and this is why I say the Pearl Abyss is getting, because they got their chops with the MMO. And there was one thing that I've never seen before in a single player game ever, is as many updates as this game has gotten to fix things. Not to, like, for instance, okay, Witcher 3. Played Witcher 3, it was a buggy mess. Played for about, I don't know, 20 hours, and then I was like, I can't, you know what I'm saying? The menu system was weird, it was wonky. Like, you know, and the game didn't, you know what I'm saying, there was still a lot of bugs and stuff in there and whatever. So I was like, I'm gonna put it on ice and I'm come back to it, right? Then they did that big update, everything was right. Like, and especially with the inventory system and all that, like, that was so much better. But it took them a year to do it. Pearl Abyss is doing that shit in weeks. They had they've had 3 or 4 big updates in a matter of what, a month and a half, or what? I know, like, what, in a month? I can't. What? Yeah, I've been playing this game so damn long. I don't even know how long it's been. So whatever. But the point I'm making is that, like, what Pearl Abyss is doing, they got the knowledge behind it because of the MMOs that they did, so they can pump stuff out. These other studios don't do that. Don't have that experience, and gamers ain't willing to wait like that unless they get it on sale. And so a lot of gamers are now waiting because they know that most of the time when these games drop, that they're gonna, if they don't get, even if they get a patch day one, they still have to wait for another patch to patch over whatever that the game was doing wrong, and then that takes months. And gamers are sick of that. It's the truth. Gamers are just sick of it. So, all right, but we look at games like South of Midnight. We look at Hellblade 2. Like, it used to be like, man, games graphically, and I've heard really good things about Replaced. I haven't, like I said, I haven't played anything else except for, I mean, this gameplay right here of this game that you see here. This was before Crimson Desert came out, so I'm just saying, it's just, gamers are just waiting. They're just waiting. You're asking for too much money. You're asking for too much money for these consoles. You're asking for higher prices for the games, and then you give us a bullshit product that isn't up to par. Matter of fact, come to think about it, when the games were $60, those games seemed to perform better than some of the games that comes out now. Not all, of course, but a lot of them. And like I said, once they put into it to where it's got to be this, we got to make our money right now here. That it's frying the game, in my opinion. So anyway, I just wanted to touch on that. Like I said, I'll bring it up to the fellas, and so hopefully y'all can listen to us Sunday talk about it. Here we go. Xbox. All right. Here we go. Here we go. We're gonna get to the dessert now. So that $10 price increase, and you sell twice as less. Math, not math, and absolutely tunes. Yep, absolutely. The math is not mathing. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Oh, Tony. Yeah, it says the math is not mathing. I appreciate you guys coming in here, man. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button. That helps out the channel, bruh. Hit that like button. Hell, if you don't like what I say, hit the dislike button. You know what I'm saying? There, show support. And if you like what I got to say and you're new to here, I see a lot of new names in here. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. Go ahead, help a brother out. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I'm going to be doing some more content this week. Tonight, I'm going to stream Invincible finally. We're finally going to have a fight night. So I hope y'all stick around for that. It'll be 9 or 10 o'clock. I think I had it for 9. Knowing me, I probably won't start until 10 p.m. Central. But we gonna finally get to doing some fight night tonight, and hopefully some of you guys can join me. We're gonna play some Invincible, and then we'll play that, and then if not, somebody else like, hey man, let's, because most likely I need to play some Street Fighter. I haven't played any. I ain't played Tech. I ain't played nothing. Damn shame. Good grief. Let's talk about Xbox. All right. Okay. Arsha's cooking. Words wise, things that she's posting, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. I like that she brought in, she wants to hear different types of opinions. She wanted to talk to Sean Layden, even though I think Sean Layden shouldn't be talking about any damn thing in regards to a gaming service, because he doesn't like a gaming service because he has his old school mentality that gamers have the money like they used to spend, and he's not looking at the climate of the economies that's happening in the world, but especially here in the US, which is still the biggest economy for gaming, the biggest money made for gaming. He ain't looking at, he don't see that. Like, he's just all corporate. You know what I'm saying? Like that. He don't see it. He don't see the value in it. And so that to me is where that's bullshit. But I like the fact that she's willing to listen to what he has to say, because listen, if there's something like with the Call of Duty situation, taking Call of Duty out of Game Pass to drop the price, it's a win. And I said this last week, where there were people out there that was bitching. Again, Xbox gamers that get out here and they're bitching about, well, their Call of Duty is not on there at day one. There's no reason for me to get it. Bitch, you don't even play Call of Duty. What are you talking about? And if you do play it and played it on Game Pass, it was only for the story. You don't, I don't see your names out there on COD. Bro, what are you talking about? Shut that shit up. That don't make no sense. People like me, I buy COD. I buy it. So it ain't gonna bother me. And if like, let's say Grand Theft Auto comes out, right? And COD, let's say they both come out the same day. Well, could I get both? Absolutely. Do I want to get both? Absolutely not. Because one, I'm going to get the ultimate edition of, well, as I call it, the shut up edition of both of them. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, I'll give me a break. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, like, come on now. So no. I don't. I'm gonna get my Call of Duty. If what's called, and then I would get what's called it. Probably I would get it later. But no, most likely no. I'll take that back. I probably would get Grand Theft Auto first, and then I would get COD later. Because I know that there's going to be some other games that's going to be involved that I can get that's in my budget. That's just me. But the thing to me is that when you sit there and when you're a person that likes playing Call of Duty, playing Battlefield and stuff like that, you're going to most likely buy that game, because you don't, even if you got a subscription, you don't know how long anything could happen if you don't have your subscription stacked. You don't know what could happen. There could be an emergency that could happen at any point. And if you're like, let's say with EA Play, like I think EA Play finally sit there and you could pay a year into it or something like that, right? And of course with Xbox you could stack, but with Game Pass you could stack. But the thing of it is that like if you go in month to month and let's just say like, oh man, shit, damn, you can't. Well, I got, hey, It's like when my truck, I had to change the transmission on my truck. That cost some bread. And nah, man. The budget's broken because I got to take care of real life. So therefore, we only gonna get one of these games. And so then for that reason, it most likely would probably be it probably would be COD. I probably, you know what I'm saying, because Grand Theft Auto, I'm a fan of it, but I'm not like an ultra fan of Grand Theft Auto like that. But I do play COD. I play every COD. With that exception, there have been like 3 I didn't like, the ones that's just all online, that doesn't have the one that had the one mode, the PUBG mode. I'm not a fan of that mode, so I did not buy that Call of Duty. But regardless, I buy it. So and that's for anybody out there that's like, man, look, I want to play COD right now. Well, buy it. Shit. As much as Xbox is sit there and is offering games, and you don't play COD like that, and it drops the price because you was just bitching about the price itself, and all you do is just play the story. You don't even want to play the co-op story part. You just want to play the story, and then you're out. Okay, and so so why would you care? Because it's coming a year later. Stop it. Stop it. Like, some people just want to complain to complain. That is with that going to a year, that is not the end of the world. Now, again, there's some of these Xbox gamers that sit there and listen too much. They get too friendly with the PlayStation stands, and listen. Now, I've been in some of those parties. It's been a long time, but I've been in those parties. I've been in those groups. I've been in those chats, and they don't do nothing but talk about the same thing over and 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 over again. It is insane. I'm like, bruh. And those times I had to just mute. Like, what? Like, I'm sitting here playing the game, or I'm at work, or whatever the case may be, and then I'm in the chat, and these motherfuckers just sitting there, Xbox stuck. Aren't you at work too? Come on now. Anyway, but no, listen, and they get into it, and if you don't like it, then buy the game, man. Like, it's like Game Pass is giving enough content to satisfy your gaming needs without having to sit there and have everything put into the service. I mean, yes, what I love Crimson Desert in Game Pass, what I love with Forza, and you're talking about give me what's that I'm just trying to think of what else is coming. Hell, Token and the Dead or Alive, and yeah, it would be great. But you know how much that shit would cost? How much Game Pass would cost then? Man, so listen. People were complaining about the price. It's gone down. We won. And if you want Call of Duty, buy it. You still win. And you get perks because you got Game Pass. We winning. So again, I just find that to be crazy. But again, Arsha is doing a very good job on her kind of, she got a no nonsense type of vibe to her, which I dig. I like that. I think that there was sometimes, because I know Phil is a dog, right? Like, Phil sit there as he's nice, but he wants to get busy, but he plays into the corporate gotta be nice thing, right? And that was the thing that we wanted to see Phil do. But Phil, you know, I mean, he don't want to crush. I mean, he don't want things to go away, but he wanted to crush Sony. He wanted to put boot to ass. Almost got there. Almost. But Arsha seems like she's kind of no nonsense. We'll see. Like I said, it's going to take a whole year for us to see what her works is going to do. But for what she's pushing out, I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. So now we get to the dessert. Should Xbox And people in the chat, you got to let me know. You got to let me know. Hit a 1 if Xbox needs to go back to exclusivity, or hit a 2 for no. Yobi said those groups sounded miserable. I was a part of a few of them. I left those groups years ago. It was depressed. Brother, I was in the groups of groups. We talking about J-Dub, Next Gen, when he did his change flip flop shit to the crap, and there was he was kind of a lesser known guy with Thrash and Portal Rock, and it was D Batch, and then you got me in there, you got Tim Dog, you got it, bruh. And I mean, it was a bunch of us in there. So like, I mean, you got like all different kinds of people in there. But man, the PlayStation dudes were just insane. Like, I mean, the only one that seemed to have some of their shit together was Portal Rock. That was it. All the rest of them motherfuckers was wild. Well, and J-Dub just like to clown. Like, he likes to play around a lot. Overall, he seemed like a good dude. Like, I mean, you know, but they're like, man, it was miserable. I would sit there and be at work, like on downtime, and I'm sitting here on my phone, man. I'm waiting for another job to hit, if I sling that mud, and I'm sitting here, what? Man, it was so bad. I turn on, listen to the news, listen to NPR or something. Like, man, what do we do? I'm like, man, I can't read. I can't even get into these conversations. What is going on here? So it was miserable. And there was other miserable ones too, going past that. But yeah, too many Xbox gamers, like, you befriend them, that's fine. Like I said, not everybody, not all these people are bad people or anything like that. Outside of their personas, but it's more of a thing of like, God, like, they have to keep it going, like, just because they want to convert you. That's the whole thing. Like, they want you to be with them. Like, yeah, Mega, we got this for you, man. Come on down, join us. Fuck no, I'm a Xbox dude through and through. I ain't joining shit. I don't like Sony like that no more. You back in the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1 era, yeah, already had me. I was a PlayStation stan. I was one of them. That's why I can call them that. I know what a PlayStation stan is. I was one of them at one time. And I've seen the lights. I've seen the green lights. Well, it's actually the Dreamcast made me see the light. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then that faded, and I'm like, oh man, maybe gaming just ain't for me no more. And then the green light came and shined up on me with a big ass dude in an armored suit in a warthog. Changed everything. Team Green, I've been and I will remain. So that's until Xbox does something really crazy. And then I'm like, oh, you know what? PC Master Race, here we go. Anyway, so, but no, I just like, man, come on, bro. Like, what? Anyway, so Xbox has been doing really well on that end. From Arsha's been doing very well from that end on how she approach, how she's talking to the community. I like the fact that because that was the one thing I liked about Phil, being transparent. You know, some people was like, nah, Phil don't need to say too much. He don't need to be doing, but I like that she comes out and she's trying to gain the trust of even people like me that's still a little hesitant, but you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I want this woman to succeed because I want Xbox to succeed. And I mean, and I want her to succeed too. Like, she's the first, I believe she's the first woman. She's definitely the first woman of color to be in charge of a video game company like that. So of course, for me, yes, pro DEI all day. Yes, let's go. So I want this woman to sit there and to do this. You know what I'm saying? Since, you know, some of these right-wing motherfuckers are weird and they want to identity politics. But just for a woman to do this, to be in this spot, if, you know what I'm saying, if it was Sarah Bond, if it's Arsha, you know what I'm saying? Listen, you know what I'm saying? I even feel, like I said, I want Xbox to succeed. Don't matter. But it's important that she is reaching out and trying to gain the good favor of the Xbox fans. Because because, you know, we're not a monolith, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people think all Xbox gamers kind of think and act alike, and we do not. We do not. Like again, I'll criticize my own group of gamers because of the fact that sometimes they bitch too much. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is like, you know, okay, PlayStation sells 90 million consoles and Xbox sells 35, 40 million. So fuck what? It's still anything 40 million, 30 to 40 million, anything is good. Is good. Hell, if I had 30, 40 million subs, life would be pretty goddamn good for me, right? So you got to think of it from a standpoint of that. There's still 30 to 40 million fans out there that love the product. That's a lot of people, right? And you want the sales of the Xbox to get higher, to get back to the way that it was with the 360 and all that. Absolutely, but you know what I'm saying? But first, Xbox had to clean house in the sense of clean a mess and get the game situation taken care of. Get studios because they didn't have any studios. And get everything in order on, you got a service like Game Pass and make it better. They had to do all that. On top of that, deal with second party and third party deals. Like, I mean, Xbox One was getting dog walked by PlayStation and Nintendo because they had all of the hot stuff that gamers wanted. All of it. All of the second and third party deals was going to them. Xbox got damn near nothing. As a fighting fan, it hurt. If it wasn't for Killer Instinct, oh my God. So, like, I mean, I wouldn't have been able to play Guilty Gear or anything if I was just primarily only on Xbox at that last generation. They fixed that. Xbox, Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, Matt Booty fixed that. They fixed that. We got the Guilty Gears. We got the Street Fighters back. We got we got like all these other fighters, unknown fighters that people like. SNK, the SNK fighters, they wouldn't have been coming. If this was last gen, they would have stayed on PlayStation and PC. They would have never, and would have probably came to Nintendo. They wouldn't have came to Xbox. You know how crazy it was when Samurai Showdown was announced for Xbox? That was like, what? Yes. So that they had to get everything in order. And even though the Series X and S is kind of got, I don't know how it will overall get looked at from a standpoint of success. You know, like I said, it's a damn good consoles, but in the sense of like, you know, money, revenue, and all this and that, it might not get looked at as a success like that. But the work was done. Now Arsha just has to capitalize on the work that was done from the previous staff and add her flavor to it and just do the right thing with it, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. And so we got to see what happens. We got to see. And if she's talking about bringing back exclusivity, it's a win. Now, somebody's going to come in here and say, Curie says, she's like, I was also a PlayStation stan. So yeah, like I was deep. You could tell me nothing. So I don't want to get it twisted because I have made my stance about how I feel about the exclusivity thing, right? Like I would say like what Xbox is doing is the Trojan horse. But if you've been following my channel and been listening to me, you know I also said that I do not like the fact that Forza, Gears, Halo, Skyrim, Starfield, Indiana Jones, I don't want none of them to be on PlayStation. None of them. Now, the other stuff, South of Midnight, even though I love South of Midnight is a gem. It should stay. Hellblade 2 is a gem. It should stay on Xbox. I'm trying to think. I always get the game mixed up with another game. Oh my God, what is the name of that game? I always do it. I always get it mixed up with. Oh man, I'll get to it. I'll remember it. Anyway, but that studio is no longer with that studio is no longer with Xbox anymore. They got rid of them, and a Korean group got them now. So High Five Rush. That's it. High Five Rush should have never went to PlayStation, and the indicating of the sales proved that. Now, this is what I would hope that the Xbox would do. I don't know. Do these people listen to me like they used to? I have no idea. Some say they do. I don't know. We'll see. But if I was them, I would take it by, like what Phil said at the beginning, a case-by-case basis, right? Sea of Thieves is cooking on PlayStation. It's a live service. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost an insult because, you know what I'm saying? Because there's so many of those stands talk so much shit about Sea of Thieves, and Sea of Thieves, PlayStation community loves it, right? It's a great game. Sea of Thieves is great. Grounded, great game. Should. ESO, yeah, Elder Scrolls Online, absolutely. But not Starfield. I still don't like the fact that Starfield is over there. As much as they berated that game, they talk shit about that game, and then I don't even know what is sold yet. I think there was one little bit, and this is hold up. Now this will be funny though. This will be real funny. I think I seen a graph. Let me go look. Hold on. Let me see. Ay. Okay, here we go. All right. So, okay. All right. So Starfield at that time, at April 29th, sold a little bit over 200,000 copies, right? Now Soros is sold 300,000, right? I wonder if Starfield has caught up or has maybe surpassed, because that would be a good yes. Let me get the grill out and let's do some cooking. But I don't know. So let's just say, but Starfield is at, let's just still say Starfield is at 250K, right? How much did y'all pay to make that port, to send it over to PlayStation? It's not worth it. So when you do another Starfield, that shit stays home. They don't appreciate it like we do. Like the Xbox and PC community do. Fuck them. Let's go. Let's keep going down. Let's look at the other list. All right. So Oblivion, I'm not tripping about Oblivion, right? Like the Oblivion, the remaster, cool. It sold 1.2 million on PlayStation. Hey, that's a win. Sea of Thieves have sold damn near 3 million copies. Bruh. Sea of Thieves has sold since last month, has sold at close to 3 million copies. Wow. Anyway, okay, Grounded is close to 1 million. Now, here we go. Gears of War Reloaded. Now I understand it's an older game. It did what? It said 600, a little bit, like close to 700,000. Nah, Gears don't belong on PlayStation. Doom, the Dark Ages. I'm not tripping about Doom. I'm not tripping about Wolfenstein. I'm not tripping about those Bethesda games like that. Like, you know, those games or Dishonored. If they decide to want to do another Dishonored, I think that group is gone. But still, if they did or whatever, I'm not tripping. Let that stay over there. Indiana Jones, though, I got a problem. And Indiana Jones only did 500,000, a little bit like close to 550K. Nah, waste of time. And look, hold up. Now I know Xbox don't even own this studio, but this is egregious. This is nasty to me. Ninja Gaiden 4 sold less than Soros on PlayStation. Ninja Gaiden 4 did 262,000 last. That's disgusting. That's a problem. Ninja Gaiden 4 is epic. You talk about action, hack and slash, greatness. Yes. What? Man, Xbox, go get Tecmo. Shit. Go get him. Arsha, go get him. Wrap him up. Wrap him up. So we can get Neo too on Xbox. Because that's disrespectful. Disrespectful. I like to see what this. I wonder what the sales numbers for Neo 3 is done. I think they've done pretty damn good. But it's also like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how many it did on PlayStation. I know it's over 1 million. I think it's like 2 million, something like that, 2-3 million. I don't know. But anyway. But yeah, somebody in the chat, you gotta help me out on that. We said that's 550K paid for a good portion of the expected sales though. Yeah, but that's still not good enough though. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. That's not good enough for Gears. Gears deserve 1 million plus. Ninja Gaiden at 1 million plus. That's garbage. That's garbage. That's garbage. And somebody was like, "Well, it didn't sell 1 million on Xbox." I know what it did. It did really good on Game Pass. It made its money back. Age of Empires. I'm not mad at it. 100 because to really play Age of Empires, the definitive they did a really good job of playing it with controller, but it's still a lot better with mouse and keyboard. But yeah, 173. Okay, here's another one. Here's another one right here. And I think, and overall, I think the Outer Worlds 2 didn't sell very well at all, which is sad. Only 163K on PlayStation. The lowest game that's on this chart is Age of Mythology, which is another one of those, RTSs. And, console gamers, we don't see a lot of those type of games. I can't wait for those games to start coming in. I mean, there's a lot of them that's in Xbox. I know that there's some on PlayStation. I don't, but that genre needs to start building up on the consoles, especially going forward. Now, since the technology will be there to handle it, we need more of those games to be on there. Because Age of Empires and Age of Mythology is dope. Like, I mean, I got a homeboy that plays nothing but Age of Empires, I should say, and I told him about Age of Mythology. I don't think he's jumped on that yet, but I will remind him. And damn, like it's like Forza 5 is like 6 million. Like that's nuts. That's nuts. So yeah, Curie, you might be right. Well, was it Curie that said that? I think it was Curie. It was somebody that said that Forza Horizon 6 might beat Wolverine. That would just on PlayStation alone. That's not on overall, but PlayStation alone. Well, I mean, because Wolverine ain't slated to be coming out on nothing but PlayStation. But boy, that would be messy. Right, that's what I was saying. Ninja Gaiden is mostly paid by Game Pass. So, and I don't know if it sold 1 million or not on Xbox, but that's egregious if it's not. Go buy that shit. Go play that shit. That is great. Greatness. And I say that with emphasis, is greatness. Play that Ninja Gaiden 4. Yeah, so let's see. It beat Ninja Gaiden 4 through Game Pass. Yeah, I beat it through Game Pass as well. Yes. And I bought it. I played it through Game Pass, beat it, and I bought it. And I was there, and I was like, yeah, because I got the DLC, and I got to and I started it, but I haven't got to it yet. Because I was like, let me play Avowed, because I started it and didn't get to finish. And I was like, let me play Avowed. I'll come back to Ninja Gaiden later. There's no big deal on that. I already beat it. But that boy, tell me, since you said you beat that, tell me what you thought about that Ray Hayabusa. Ooh. That would you boy that was tough. I was like, man, before you got to the main boss. It was before you was on the last level. And Ray Hayabusa, boy, Ryu. I say Ray. Why I say Ray? Ryu Hayabusa. Sorry, I caught myself because I listened to myself and I said, why I say Ray? Because I'm country. It's Ryu Hayabusa. But still, regardless. That shit was tough. Like, I had such a good time playing that game. God, I had such a good time playing it. the PSSR 2.0 though. That I listen that money ain't ain't that good. That PSSR 2 ain't good for that money they asking for it. Hell to the no. It says, trust me, when you see Forza 6, School Wolverine, and everything else exclusive, came out, I will understand why we multiplat. Math, baby, math. I got you. Listen, okay, but let's go back to this Xbox thing, right? So the exclusives, like, I don't like that word reclaiming identity, but I'm not going to dispute it, because even though I understand the method of what Xbox is doing, you know, still being a console maker and being a publisher to the competition, it's smart. It's the Trojan horse effect, but it shouldn't be with everything. And that's the thing where I agree with some of the people that says Xbox need to reclaim their identity. It's because of that reasoning. And I agree with that. Now, if it, like I said before, if Xbox does nothing, am I going to revolt and just like, I'm done with Xbox and I'm selling it? No, absolutely not. I'm still booting on my Xbox. I still get to play my games. I'm all right. I'll live. I don't have to like it, but I'll live. But if PlayStation keeps playing the way that they're playing, then I think that you have no choice but to play hardball too. Because again, they knew, they heard enough, and I guarantee you, some of them sniveling little PlayStation stands was sending videos to PlayStation staff somewhere to sit there and say, look at this Project Helix come, they'll still get to play your games. It's not going to be saved. They'll never buy your product. That's how they talk. That's how they all talk. Just listen to them. So PlayStation over here trying to play cute. Ain't gonna work. It ain't working with me no more. And I seen other Xbox gamers say the same. Like, they say Wolverine is their last, and that's it. I ain't even giving a fuck about Wolverine unless it's on PC, or unless PlayStation wants to be kind enough to give me a PlayStation Pro, PlayStation 5 Pro. I'll play it then, because it'll be something better than me trying to play it off of PlayStation 5. Ew, no, brother. Ew, no. I do not want to play Wolverine on the PlayStation 5. I want to play it on my PC. I want to see it in high definition in all its glory, the true definitive edition. I don't want to see that bullshit, ashy ass claws and Wolverine trying to climb through walls and shit, and then it's just ashy. I don't want to see it. No, I got spoiled, and I am not going to tolerate Sony trying to tell me, well, we'll give you all these games on PC now, and then say, nah, nope. Kidding. Sorry. Nope. Because the only thing I'm gonna tell you is bye. I'm out. So I don't even care about Wolverine. I don't care about Soros. I don't care about, I don't even know what else is coming out from Sony. Because I know Kina's coming to PC. I know Phantom Blade is coming to PC. I know that Token is coming to PC. Then they'll get my money. Soros, Ghost of Yotai, Wolverine don't come to the rig. I hope y'all had a good time with it. Because I mean, I got all excited and I was like, Spider-Man 2, let's go. And I still ain't beat Spider-Man 2. Don't have the same type of vibe to me like Spider-Man 2018 or Miles Morales has. Not even close to me, right? Not even close. I mean, the extra stuff that you could do in Spider-Man 2, really, really fun. But then, like, when, I'm trying to get into it and it's just not vibing the same. So, but I'm done with it. So Soros only sold 300K. He says, we not paying these absurd prices. We catch it on sale. Bro, I got you. He says, Assassin's Creed Shadows Digital Deluxe is $45 right now on PlayStation. Just wait it out. I seen it, Assassin's Creed Shadows through the and I was thinking about getting it because I told Viper I was going to get him that game, man. And like I was like, I gotta hit Viper up. I ain't talked to him in a little bit. And so it was 25 bucks. But then I was like, okay, I get it, but I don't get a code. It goes straight into my what's called. So I gotta wait for a Steam sale or something so I can gift that to him. And it's hard to catch his ass. So I was like, yeah, anyway. So I just got to call him. But yes, it was 25 bucks through the Ubisoft store on PC. So yeah, that's another win too. So like it's like, and I want to say you get good sales through Xbox, through Game Pass, through their Ubisoft store too. But I didn't check. I didn't come to check on the Xbox to see if that same price was on there. It's gone now. But yeah, just wait it out. Just wait it out. But that also shows you that game sold well, because normally like Star Wars is like 18 bucks. Which is sad because that Star Wars game Outlaws is not bad at all. Like, it was broken when it first came out, which is like kind of like what I was talking to in the second segment, basically talking about AAA versus AA, but games. But yeah, but the game is not bad at all. It's really, really good. Plan on going back to beat it. But anyway, but Xbox has done such a great job on sending out the message to get people to sit here to even for the people that's kind of been off the radar, if that's been like, Archer's been doing a good job on that. And so I do feel like do exclusives matter to that degree? No. But not to me, I should say. When I say no, I meant for me. But in a place of where, like, the optics, when you see a console and you see this game is only for this console, it does mean something. And so I like I said, I understand when people say, listen, you need your identity back by having exclusives, especially for your big games. And that I agree with. I agree with that 100%. After looking at it and assessing it, I feel that like those people are on the right side of the discussion. Like, it doesn't have to be I've said it 1,000 times. Like, it just 10% of Xbox games staying exclusive and having 90% go everywhere else, that's still a win for Xbox, because those games are still going to be going on to PC, and those games are still going to be going to and eventually those games will hopefully go to mobile. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where I think that's where the money's going to be, is once you start getting the cloud to where those games can be played on mobile phones. If they could ever get that implemented, then that's the win. You don't need PlayStation nor Nintendo for that. For those type of games. If you could put a Halo, a Gears, and Forza, and Fable, and Skyrim somehow to be played on a phone, which, I mean, phones are capable, but through the cloud or however that will work, and it works fine, bruh, that is where the money is. That's where the engagement's going to be. It'll dog walk PlayStation's sales, as we can see. Indiana Jones 500. I mean, see, again, in the climate that we're in, I should say that that's not bad numbers, because I still kind of have in my head what, like, the idea of what the numbers were supposed to look like from last gen, when people were like, oh, 8 million. If you don't sell 8 million, your game is trash. So I kind of still had that stupid, thought process, which I know better, because there's plenty of games that sold just 1 million, and then we've got plenty of sequels, or there's been plenty of games that we've seen, especially like fighters that haven't even broke 1 million. I mean, Guilty Gear didn't break 1 million until Guilty Gear Strive. Guilty Gear never sold 1 million copies until Guilty Gear Strive. Now, another case of that is because it came to Xbox too, but it went, you know what I'm saying, it went everywhere. So it's like, there you go. Well, I don't know. Is Guilty Gear Strive on Nintendo? I do not know. Anyway, but still, That's the positive of the exclusive. Is that like you got the box, you're presenting the game console, and on the box is your big three, big four, big five, whatever. And for whatever that game is, and you got the custom Xbox, and that's what Xbox also need to go back to, is to bring it back customs. Yes, that is it. That is it. What's going on, Rain? And that's it. And so yes, I will say this. I have to say to myself, like, listen, the exclusives do matter. To me, do they matter to the point to where other people just wig out? No, absolutely not. But I am starting to turn the page about and start understanding. Yeah. Now, if Xbox doesn't do that, like I said, I'm not changing anything. I'm still gaming, right? Like, I'm still gaming on my box. I'm still gaming on my PCs, whatever. But and I'll still play my games on my PlayStation 5 that I have left. But it's not gonna make me, I'm not losing sleep over it. But I do understand it. And I think for the growth of Xbox going into this next generation, you're gonna have to have some kind of exclusives. Fable would be a great game to be that exclusive. That could be the first kickoff. Like if Fable, like, because didn't Fable get well, no, I think there was another game. I know there was a game that got delayed until January or something, like until the first part of next year. But I don't know if that was Fable or not. But regardless, if let's say it did get delayed, then make it exclusive. Just make it exclusive any goddamn way. Just Xbox PC. Just do that. Ain't no need to put it on PlayStation. Because if you get that, because if Fable comes and if Fable is, let's say, between Ninja Gaiden 4 and Indiana Jones, let's say between 200,000 to 600,000, that's a L. That's a L. That's an L. Because at that point, then what that means, because that would scream that would be a PlayStation type of game. Like, it's a story-driven, it's an open world, but it's a story-driven game. Great graphics, all that. Storytelling, all that. Iconic title. And if it doesn't break 1 million on PlayStation, that's an L. That is an L. That just tells you that. Now, if it did, this is what this will tell me, is that if it doesn't have the PlayStation logo on it, then it doesn't matter to them like that. Like, case in point, how I perceive PlayStation gamers, and this is no disrespect. It will sound disrespectful, but this is no disrespect. But they're like the Lakers they're like the Los Angeles Laker fans of gaming. And what I mean by that is that, now listen, you got diehard Laker fans. Don't get me wrong. I know some of them. I've dealt with a couple of them that are diehard Laker fans, ride or die. But then you got those Laker fans that until they start winning, until they start, that's when the stars come out. Now, it was impressive to see all those stars come out in Game 7, and and that was the loudest that the crowd was against the Thunder in Game 4. But the other games, there was quiet. Like, somebody was trying to chant free throw merchant to Shea, and it didn't because the crowd was just too quiet. Like, because and the Lakers was playing tough. So they're fickle. They're fickle. They're fair weather fans. And that's what, to me, if Fable doesn't do well, if they decide that they was bringing it to PlayStation and it doesn't hit 1 million, it doesn't do better than Oblivion Remaster, which is 1.2 million, or if it's let's just give it a benefit of the doubt. If it's not doing better than Grounded or Oblivion, and Grounded is like 800,000, okay, then it's a fail. and all they care about is the logo, the ascent, the prestige of the name, and that they can say it's a PlayStation game. Yeah, not because it's a good game. They need it to have that kind of mystique of that PlayStation branding to make it feel like it's worth getting. And if that's the case, then yeah, you're wasting your time for bringing something like that to the table. So, I mean, case in point, Starfield. Starfield is an excellent game. And look, and it's only $207,000. Now, I mean, that's extra bread, no doubt. That's extra money for development, for other games, for adding stuff to Game Pass, into, you know, working on the next Starfield or whatever or not Elden Ring, but the next Skyrim or Elder Scrolls, whatever the hell they're going to be making. But yeah, that's great money. But then, like, but the optics, ish. So keep things exclusive. Keep some things. He said, Rain says, PlayStation 5 has roaches. Stop that, bro. Stop that. That's just people being nasty, not taking care of their shit, not being clean. You know what I'm saying? Stop that. He says, but the Steam control, hold on. PlayStation fans are like Dallas Cowboy fans. I mean, it's the same. Like, I mean, I don't know. No, hold on. Now listen now, because the Blue Goat would be mad at me. He's a diehard Cowboy. I know a lot of out here in Oklahoma. There's a lot of Dallas Cowboy fans out there. I do not know why, to be honest with you. But there's a lot of Dallas Cowboy fans, and they die hard. Their hearts are so broke. Like, they just, I feel bad. Now, you know, I feel bad for Dallas Cowboys, but they stick with them. But no, I know a lot of Laker fans. There's a lot of them that's fanatical, no doubt, but there's a lot of them that just don't care. If they're not in the playoffs, if they're not number one seed or being talked about every goddamn day, they don't care. They just don't. Not until they start winning. Not until they get into the playoffs and get like you didn't start seeing I didn't start seeing really the Lakers chatter until after they beat game one. After they got past the first series. Yeah, they're real fickle. Now, I don't know. I would say maybe, I don't know. I think Dodger fans are pretty loyal too. But like, bruh, it's messy. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Just chill. Another good thing that Xbox is doing, and I don't know if that, and it said it's a rumor, but I've heard too much about it for me to think that it is a rumor. And that is, oh, did I not save that? But I did see it anyway. It's where you take your old discs and it will download into a digital copy into your Project Helix, and it will be all of your Xbox library. I mean, I'm sure there'll be some exceptions because there's going to be like licensing issues and everything like that. Now, if it's everything that you own that's a disc, because I know what Project Helix is actually being is a true hybrid PC console. Like, and if you can get those games, man, I have so many 360 games in my closet. Bro, like I want to stream some of my old 360 games too. Like, if I could play my X-Men Dimensions or the Wolverine game, or like the games that got converted. Some of the games that got converted from the old OG Xbox to the 360, like what are those games called? The Marvel games, the like Marvel Apocalypse and stuff like that, like those games. That's a win. Now, I definitely like a Deadpool, like a Transformers, Cybertron, and stuff like that. You see those things kind of pop up on the game store, so those games are definitely going to be on there. And also, do not forget, there is still, and it's still there. It is the Xbox Preservation page. Type it in, go there, and you can get on there every day. And what's cool is that once you sign up onto it, the games that you vote for, they'll get automatically locked in, and you can go vote. You can go vote for other games that was in your wheelhouse, that maybe some games that you never got a chance to play that maybe caught your interest, or maybe games that you was just like, oh, I forgot about that. I need to go there after I get off of here. Oh my goodness, I've been talking for 2 hours and damn near 30 minutes. I am so sorry, Pies. Anyway, so and I appreciate you guys being on here. Thank you guys. Like I said, hit that like button. Let me come on, man. Hit that like button, hit the dislike button. But anyway, the go there and check that out. But if you can do like for instance, like hold on, like let's see. Like this. What if I can like this or this? What? Or like I can just no, I'm not gonna open these, but I got 2 copies of Wet, but I just man, and I can download these just kind of like you could on your 360. Load those up. Well, you could download those games, I think, on your Xbox Series as well too. But man, bro, let's go. Come on, man. You sit there and have me, man, and if you can sit there and use all types of Xbox peripherals to me to play my lips. You knew it was coming, guys. You knew it. If anybody didn't know me, you knew it. To me to play my lips on my Project Helix, using my old 360 microphones, I can just add an attachment. Like Xbox will have some attachments that you can sit there and hook up into the, and you can put this, and you can have an attachment to put to do the unforbidden or the great bitten. And that is to implement and put and use your Kinect to play some of them old Kinect games, bro. That gets me hype. Then it's just it'll be too much for me. It'll be too much. I can't go nowhere. If Xbox do shit like that. He said to agree on that Redskins logo. Let's see. He says I have the guys played the Trump game Epic Fury. There's a fighting game that's on the Microsoft Store. It don't work though. It was where you fight with all the presidents, and I wanted to play it. I wanted to show it off on Fight Night because I was like, man, I'm gonna put hands on Trump, bruh, with Obama, but it didn't work. So I'm gonna try it again, but it it was funny looking. Like you see George Washington and Reagan and all. I mean, I would play with every character. I even play with Trump, but I would sit there. But yeah, the first match would definitely be Obama putting slapping them hands on their ass. But I'm gonna have to go back and see, but it didn't work. And so anyway, that would be a really fun game to play for Fight Night. Man, yes, if they can give us any type of extra devices to where we could hook up our peripherals to our old stuff, man, that right there is what's going to bring even the old heads back. That even the people that said that they would never come back to Xbox, that will bring them back because the nostalgia will be ridiculous. You got the 360 games that you could play on this console. You got the old peripherals. Like I said, if I could play Lips on the new console, and all I got to do is just buy this peripheral that will connect. Like, just think about like this, like playing Guitar Band or DJ Hero. I have DJ Hero too as well. I need to get the turntable. I did have the turntable. I need to go buy another turntable. As a matter of fact, I was supposed to go get one. It was like $12. I bet you that some bitch is not there no more. Anyway, but like, and then like, let's say that you can do that as well with your OG Xbox games. Think about like you can go back and if you could play some of them old EA big games like Def Jam Fight for New York or Def Jam Vendetta or the NBA Street games. I know that there's an NBA Street Light game coming out here pretty soon, but I'm talking about like those old classics. Man, come on. Man, let's go. See, that would be incredible. So Um, I know about the whole, that's the reason why they're doing the game preservation stuff. I know that they're most likely we can't play everything because of licensing, but it would be so epic if you could play some of those old classics that you got on disc, and then that thing would boot up. And even and let's say that it could boot up, but you can't get it would boot up, but you can't you can only play it offline. Like, if it's an online game, you cook, but you can just play it offline. That's still a win. Just to have that all in the one in a box, I think it's definitely going to be part of what they're going to do for sure. But but for all that stuff, but yeah, that would be a win. Talking about being affordable with the console, because I seen the Arsha brought that up. That would be important. Again, what we talking about affordable. If we talk about 800, that's for everything that they're talking about trying to do, making it the most powerful console and all that. That is an absolute steal. I'm still saying it's going to be $1,000. I still think it's going to be $1,000. I'm copping still because I already know this is going to be my only premier console. I mean, that's it. I mean, I still got to get a Switch too, though, but that's it. That's it. Other than that, and then me getting that Switch too, that's it. That's it. And so, and that's the stuff that'll keep me home and not make me sit there and dwindle across, just kind of keep dwelling in the PC space, because you have everything that I need right here and there for me to just enjoy, to show some of these old classic games off on streams or just, the nostalgia of it. It would be so dope. It would be so dope. So it is what it is. So he said, I got a Switch 2, PlayStation 5, and a Series X. No doubt. Like, I mean, that's the norm for us type of gamers. I've changed up. I'm not doing the quadruple, double. I'm not like more Play Anywhere titles, of course. I'm spoiled to it. I'm spoiled to it. I don't. I had this discussion on Twitter, where I basically was like, where somebody was saying, well, you could do, you can get a Steam Deck, all that, and I'm just like, I don't play handhelds like that, like I said in the beginning of the stream, but it's like for me, and I found it unfortunate that Aliens Fireteam 2 won't use that, or Game Pass or anything like that, which Game Pass I'm not tripping whatsoever, but if it's, but for not Play Anywhere, that's, so I gotta wait for a sale. What's called said, Groove Time said, oh, no, who does that said? Oh man, wait a minute. It said, I see somebody say something about, man, I forgot where it went. Damn, I don't know where it went. There will be there will be another Zelda game. Yeah, there will definitely be another Zelda game for sure. Her PlayStation 6 will be delayed until 2028 to 2029. It could. I know that the chips. Man, see, I know it's about time for me to get done. The chips market is really, really expensive, and because it's expensive, and because of the shortage, because of these data centers and all this other stuff, like it's just nuts. So that could be. I mean, the series, the Project Helix could be delayed too. I know that they're talking about it. It could come sometime next year. If we don't see it in the VGAs or anything get announced here coming up at the Xbox event, it ain't coming next year. It'll be coming 2028. So that it'll be 2028, 2029, probably at the same time when the PlayStation will do that. So we'll see. But there was something that says, I heard the Donkey Kong game is great, but I'm not paying $70. Brother, listen, I feel you. I feel you. Like, that's what I'm saying. And Nintendo is like, you get Nintendo, I just get a couple of games, and then I just wait, and I wait for the sales. I'm not in no hurry. I'm not in no hurry with that. So, but the Play Anywhere stuff for Xbox, it's a big contributor of why it just makes me want to just stay more in-house with Xbox, just the Xbox PC connection. It's everything I need. It's really everything I need with the services that I get, and on top of just like for what Xbox has been providing game wise, they've been doing a great job with third party games coming through. I know there's a couple of them that's still this hard headed that don't want to come to the Xbox, but for the most part, Xbox has really been doing really good on that end too. So, you know what? Listen, if Xbox wants to do the exclusivity thing for some of their games, just for a couple of them, a few of them, that's going to be all right. That's going to be that. I think that is the winning ticket. We'll just see. We'll just see. I don't know, but I really do appreciate you guys coming and checking out the stream. I know like it's so far in between, but I plan on trying to come in here and talk to you guys about something else here tomorrow. I will be streaming later on tonight here, finally playing something else than Crimson Desert, which will be we'll do some fight night. So we'll play some Invincible Versus, and then we'll see how we'll feel about that, and then we'll play some other stuff. So it is, but it's good to see you guys coming through. He says, I need Arsha to open the wallet for the third parties that are being held, being hard hit. There, yeah, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. Oh, also, damn it, it just came. It was right there and it just left. Oh yeah, they. I think it was it Arsha? I think it was Arsha that said it. Yes, she did say that. That they're looking into, they're not opposed to more acquisitions. Now, I hate that this studio is gone, but I would have been like, oh, please pick up Spiders. Please pick them up. I love all their games. From the Steel game to Greedfall, oh man, what was that other game? I'm gonna look right now. What is the name of that game? Man, it was a last gen game. Oh man, I can't think of that game right now. Oh, I got it in my other list. Damn it. Hold on, I'm gonna click on it. Hold on, let me get in that list. Where is it at? Anyway, but I wish Spiders wasn't gone. I hate that about them. I love their games, man. Golly, that it sucks. Oh no, I don't have it in here. Oh yeah, I got it on Xbox and Steam. That's where it was. It's not on that list. Okay, anyway, but Technomancer, that's what it's called. Technomancer. Yeah, I knew. I was like, man, what is the name of that game? So yeah, I hate that about Spiders, but man, hey, what about Tecmo? Let's go. Dead or Alive, let's go. Let's get it. Let's finally get the Neo games. Let's go. I mean, it's what I've said. The end game is Steam. Now we'll do this. Did this group want this? Do this new group want that? All you got to do is just get Steam and don't touch it. Just add your like maybe Game Pass rewards and a few things from the Xbox store in a couple of slots where people can pick if they care, and don't touch nothing else if they got Steam. Leave Steam alone from this AI, all that. Don't get cute with that shit. If they would acquire Steam, that's the end game. You got it. You winning. Boom. Now don't touch it and just be quiet. And let the Steam fans bitch, moan, complain for a little bit. But if you don't do Microsoft shit by trying to change it and do this and implement that, it would be a win. But we'll see if Gabe is willing to sell right now. We don't know yet. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know you talked about Rocksteady, Steady, Warner Brothers is out. Now, again, I don't know if like with that Paramount thing, the Paramount deal or whatever, if that's still going through, if it's going to happen, I don't know. But what they're going to do with the gaming companies, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, will they just ship them out? then that's when you could go and try to look and try to see if you could go for Rocksteady and stuff like that. I don't know what they're going to do on that end, but there's still some more gettable studios to grab. I mean, the ultimate one for sure for me would be CD Projekt Red. You know what I mean? Like that would be excellent. That would be epic as all get out. But we'll see. I mean, they right now you got a FTC that do not give a fuck about mergers. So this would be the time to go do it. You know what I'm saying? If you know, so her bringing it up, might as well just jump on in and do it. Just get a couple of things that's hot and popping, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see though. A lot more stuff going on, man. We got these game shows getting ready to come through, and all that. That's going to be fun. So anyway, I will look at some more topics to talk about tomorrow. We'll hop in for a little bit. Won't be as long as this one, but I mean, I'm due. I haven't did any content for a little while, so good to be here. Good to you guys to come and be a part of it. And so, like I said, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for coming through, and I will see you guys tonight playing some fighters. All right, guys. Everybody have a good one. Peace. Oh yeah, I gotta hit the button.